They indeed love their football here in upstate New York as you get a look inside Rocket Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Cleveland Browns and the Buffalo Bills. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Now the third running back taken in April's draft. This is James Cook. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Well, this defense for the Browns, they played really well in that win last week against Miami.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and try to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Third down, here's a run by Cook. And he'll get nothing out of that one. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. So now on 4th down, Sam Martin on to punt for Buffalo. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is fielded at the 27. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 37. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And right away, he lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. The fumble on 1st down now. Here's 2nd down. First carry for Nick Chubb. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance in guessing, because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. No gain on the play there. Nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a 1st down.
Well, we got beef eaters licking their chops and tasty dish in one fell swoop.
I did apologize in advance, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. That line's not eating tofu. I'll tell you that much for free. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he's going to pick up the Browns' first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Off of play action, it's Watson. He'll get this complete to Kadarius Toney. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Pretty solid opening drive here, Charles. They've worked in the run game, the pass game, just steadily getting yards, and now they've got it inside the red zone here with an opportunity.
And the only thing they don't have so far is points. But the way that they're moving the ball now, that shouldn't take much longer. And they've established a great balance so far. Running, passing, doing what they want on offense.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Chubb on the counter. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped. But what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, and ends up spilling it for a loss.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Now Watson. Caught for a Browns touchdown. Anthony Schwartz, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns have taken the early lead on the road here in Buffalo. Extra point by York is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands and maybe the offense will move a little bit.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll go option to the short side. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 4 yards there on the keeper, but still going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with the defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now, a throw for Toney is intercepted. Pick made by Terrell Bernard, and the Bills are going to take possession of the football. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs. Josh Allen, he says that he wants to continue to perfect executing the run-pass option. Looked pretty good there.
And he's put in the minds of all people trying to defend him that his legs create big plays. So guess who benefits?
His running back.
You no doubt about it, and we just saw it there.
They run again on first down. Cook. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Allen got his man complete over the middle. That's Cook. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. Tyler Bass out for the Bills field goal. This is a 26-yard attempt. The kick by Bass is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Browns drive about to get started.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Now the Bills will take another timeout. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back. Back to throw, Watson.
And that'll be caught by Tony.
He's got room past the 30. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
On 1st down, Watson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
With the dime worked on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but he did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
Again, it's Watson. That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the football.
And picking up the first down. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Watson now to throw. Open man right side is Tony. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Watson looks to throw again. That'll be caught. It's Tony. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. They go right back to him for 20 and a first.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Here's Chubb on the read option. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. Gregory Rousseau works his way in for the stop and the loss.
But that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working. But how about his vision to see where the play was going? Crashed down inside and tackled him for a loss.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Going out wide, finds Chubb. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Watson will step away, and out comes Cade York to handle this 4th down field goal try for the Browns. York able to send this one through, and they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. Still a little bit of time left here in the 2nd quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
On play action, Allen. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway.
And here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Browns drive about to get started.
And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. And the slot man goes in motion left. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson. Ball hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hoping they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a first down.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. To throw is Watson. He's going to look deep down the field. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. The Browns send out their punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Play action. Now it's Allen. That'll be complete to Cook. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. So they'll get nothing out of that play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Allen will look to throw for it on 4th. And he fires one that's intercepted.
Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And the Browns are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
The Browns drive about to get started. After the interception, here's Watson.
They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. A.J. Epinesa, the one credited for the sack.
I wonder if they're wandering back to the huddle thinking to themselves, can we just hit rewind and go back a play? Definitely not the down they wanted to begin this drive by giving up a sack. But for the defense, that's exactly how they drew it up.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Watson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Watson. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Bills have recovered.
Well, you had an offense working with a comfortable 2-score lead here in the 3rd quarter, and certainly doesn't feel as comfortable now following the turnover.
Yeah, you're right about that, because now the nerves start to come into play a little bit. You're a little bit jangled. You don't want to give your opponents any avenues to get back into the game. What you'd rather do, put up signs that say, roads closed.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break contain and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
From midfield, here's Allen.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
Here's Sam Martin now. He'll boot it away from about his 35.
I feel like you and I could be in our backyard with our dads right now. What did they always say when they were throwing us the ball? Look it all the way in. Make sure you secure it. That had the feeling of not happening there on that play, that he didn't have full control of the ball.
When that punt's coming in, I've never returned punts, but I would imagine it's tough to monitor those guys coming full steam ahead at you.
It really is. You try and get that peek to know where they are, about whether you should fair catch it or not. But sometimes you just have to have a sense, a feeling, and just have to make sure, number one, though, you catch the ball and put it away.
We're in the 3rd quarter in upstate New York with a 2nd and 10. Here's Cook again.
And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Sort of interesting going with a draw play there. Do you like that call?
I don't, but it would be a lot more powerful coming from me if I'd said it before the play actually happened, if I'd first guessed it. But look, a draw in that situation, heavy risk reward. If he walks in, it looks like a great call, doesn't it?
Yeah, instead brings up a tough 4th down. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Now this time, Allen will throw. Touchdown! James Cook. Excellent work there to get in on the touchdown run. And the Bills are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead down to 3 at 13-10. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. On the return from his end zone is Grant. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a 1st and 10. Now it's Watson. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Good action to this point in the 3rd quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10.
Here's Watson.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Micah Hyde.
And the Bills are going to take possession of the football.
Death throw, Charles, over the middle of the field.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Allen off the play fake. Rolling to his left. He will find Davis on the left side, complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
They'd love to get a little closer if they need to kick the field goal on 4th down. From this spot, it's 46 yards. Diggs going in motion right. Now Cook running right. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. James Cook with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bills have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. On the return from his end zone is Grant. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Browns drive about to get started. And now they'll look to answer working from behind. And remember, this offense has sputtered yet to score here in the second half. They'll need to change that here. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. DeForest Buckner able to record his 5th sack of the season.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. 23 yards the pickup there. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Watson. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Micah Hyde. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Again, it's Cook. And he'll be stopped up short as the tackle is made at about the 3. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Cook. Oh, no, he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do and kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
So after knocking through the field goal, here's Bass to kick it away. Pulls it in at the 13.
The Browns drive about to get started. And that last turnover could have proven more costly, but their defense only gave up 3. But now answering with a field goal doesn't do them much on this drive. They need to try and find the end zone. He's got a man, complete.
And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Looking to throw. Watson. His throw incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. And the Bills are going to take over here out near the 40. A few things better than a big man interception. You can always tell right when they get the football, there's that level of excitement and nervousness, and also like, what the heck do I do with this thing?
And you say, no better sight? Well, not for the quarterback who just threw it. It's bad enough to throw a pick, but to throw one to the big guy? But you're right about that. Now what do I do with it? But what's fun about it is, you know they're going to be in the film room after this ball game, telling all their teammates, maybe I should shift over to offense. I've got skills. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I always find myself cheering for them after they intercepted. Unfortunately here, he couldn't make it into the end zone. A run there with Cook on 1st down, but it won't net him much, maybe a yard. 2nd down coming up.
And now defensively they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Slot man moves right. They'll try and wind down some clock with Cook.
And only a couple for him there as the tackle is made at the 42.
And now this defense trying to use the clock to their advantage. They'll take the timeout here with 2:08 left. And then they'll have another stop coming up at the 2-minute warning. The Bills on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 7. On play action, Allen. And bringing it in, it's Davis. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout. That will be their 3rd and final stoppage, as they'll only have the 2-minute warning now remaining. Well, clear running situation, trying to take time off the clock. You ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they'd shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a give running right, it's Cook. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Second and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. They run it again with Cook. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late fourth quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on third?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
Cook up the gut. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the first down marker. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a fourth down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The kick by Bass is good, and the Bills will add on to their lead. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, they've got to find 2 scores, so, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but, boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too. The Browns drive about to get started. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
Here's Watson. Throw left side, complete to Tony. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
Well, that second half, Charles, a little bit different from the first. Not only did we have the lead change after intermission, but they were able to pitch the shutout in the second half and get an impressive victory.
And what's the old expression? That's not quite how I saw it playing out in my head. You know they didn't expect this at all. As you mentioned, went into the half with the lead. Losing the game is one thing. Getting shut out in the second half, that's a surprise.
So for Buffalo, it's a win they needed, if for nothing else than their sanity, as they move to 4-6. And now they'll get the short week as they get set to play at Detroit on Thanksgiving. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, they come back to the pack a bit as their record falls to 7-3. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.